Are you ready for an open discussion with the best of the best and the best of what's next? Welcome to the Tony DUrso Show. Join in on a great conversation today with some of the world's great influencers as they showcase great advice and techniques that made them the game changers they are today. Now, here's Tony DUrso.
Welcome, I'm your host, Tony DUrso. I interview elite entrepreneurs, and I thank you for joining us. These are successful entrepreneurs, businessmen, businesswomen who've made it to the top of their category, and I curate some of the top, some of the best, some of the finest, and I bring them to you as what I call elite entrepreneurs. So really hope you enjoy this. I want you to know that this episode, this show, what I do is dedicated to helping you turn your vision into reality. Today, we're going to discuss simplifying your legal with Kelly Bagla. And if you're watching this on Rumble, would you kindly subscribe, like, hit that plus sign? That's how you like something on Rumble. And comment and share. And actually, wherever you may be watching this, please comment, share, and pass it on to friends that you think may benefit from this, because this is all done to help you in your career, your business, whether you're a startup or a small business owner, or whether you just want to go to the next level. There's a lot of good information here. And this is really important. It's not necessarily the most exciting subject to some people, but check it out, have a listen, and you're going to learn some good things that will help you and your company. And let me tell you about Kelly. She's an attorney. She's a best-selling author, speaker, inventor of Durables, top woman entrepreneur, and a business owner. And she says, quote, grab the world by the pearls. It's yours for the taking, end quote. And I've never heard that phrase before. And later on, I'm going to ask her to explain a little bit of that. I think I understand it. But all kind of joking aside, Kelly, she's a dynamic powerhouse of an attorney, and she's lived by this mantra every day of her life. I've known her well. She's a good friend. Great books. We'll talk more about that. And, you know, success takes courage, it takes perseverance, and it takes making bold moves. We talk about that a lot on our show. And guess what? It also takes knowledge. And Kelly is known as the Queen of Business Law. Let's find out more about her and get into this world. Welcome back to the Tony DUrso Show, Kelly. So great to have you on with us.
It is so fantastic to be on the show, Tony. Oh my goodness, I want to meet that Kelly. Fantastic intro.
Thank you. Well, I want to meet that Kelly and find out. I've never heard that phrase, taking the world by the pearls and grabbing it, but it's very interesting. It's sort of like going for the brass ring, reaching it, grabbing it. I mean, same sort of a type of a metaphor, I believe.
Absolutely. So obviously, I think people that are listening to the show kind of might have figured out I wasn't born in America, right? I'm not from America. I was born and raised in England, hence the funny accent. And I have I've been in America for about 23 years now, Tony, and I have literally I'm living the American dream, right? So you have all these migrants that want to come to America because they've heard such fantastic things about America. And I have to tell you, it's everything and more that I've ever heard about. You know, England's not a third world country, but the opportunities are abundant here in America. So I'm living the American dream. And that's what I mean by grab the world by the pearls. You know, I say pearls because I'm a lady, Tony. I'm a lady. And so it's yours, literally yours for the taking. And this is what I do for my clients, for other business owners. I help them live their American dream.
Oh, thank you for explaining that. And this is so cool. You've given us a little taste, a little touch of your life, your journey. Let's fill you in a little bit more and tell us more about how everything started for you. What is your backstory, Kelly?
Well, ever since I was 5 years old, Tony. No, we won't go way back there. But I was 5 years old when I first told my mom and dad that I wanted to be a lawyer. I had no idea what a lawyer was. I might have seen a show. It might have been, I think it was the Queen's Counsel in England. And I really, really liked that word, lawyer. I really liked it. And so you know, I sort of went through life knowing that I wanted to be a lawyer. And I saw my dad. My dad was an entrepreneur. He migrated from India. And when he first came to America, he was working in a factory, on the line in a factory. And then before you know it, Tony, he ended up owning the factory. He became a business owner. So I saw the lifestyle, the struggles that he went through, and then the lifestyle that he provided for himself and his family, plus his workers, they all loved him. And I'm thinking, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to fall back on that, but I'm still want to be a lawyer, right? So, being born and raised in England, all my family, they're from the medical field. They're all in the medical field, but not me, right? I decided to go out and chart my own way and ended up in America. Came over for vacation, actually. I came to visit my sister and brother. And I just fell in love with the place, absolutely fell in love with it. And so I applied for the student visas, went through the whole sort of chain, right? And actually did further education here. And then my very first position as an attorney was with one of the largest international law firms in the world. It was with Baker and McKenzie. So I got the chance of working with some brilliant minds, and this was internationally, Tony. It wasn't just locally here. So I got to learn from some of these brilliant attorneys and lawyers around the world. And from there, I decided to go to a smaller firm, and it was about 17 attorneys. I was the only female there, but I was one of the guys, right? And it was a intellectual property firm. And within 6 months, I was promoted to senior corporate attorney. And I had a department that I was running. And so as the head of that department, we were told to go out and make some sales, right? It's called rainmaking. And I had never done this before, because at the big law firm, you don't even talk to the clients, right? Let alone, take them out to go out networking. That was, the partners did all of that. So at the smaller firm, I really got my hands, in it, as far as how do I bring back business? How do I actually sell law? Who wants to even talk about law, right? The first thing you say to someone when they meet with you, they say, "Oh, well, what do you do?" "I'm a lawyer." "Oh, I really hope I don't need you at all." Right? "Well, no, 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 I'm not that type of lawyer." So so I had to learn how to network. I had to learn how to tell people what I do without them saying, "No, no, I don't need you." In fact, every business owner, any entrepreneur that's in business or wants to go into business, they need to know me. They need to put me on speed dial, Tony. I,
You
I'm
guys really do, dear audience. You really do. Listen, check out more about her, but you really need to know Kelly. I just wanted to give that little plug.
Thank you, thank you. And because it truly takes a business owner to understand the needs of another business owner. So when I say I'm not just an attorney, I'm actually a business owner too. So I've done it, right? I've gone through the heartache and the pain and the expense. Don't forget about the expense. I've gone through all of that. So my clients don't have to, Tony, and your listeners don't have to go through that. And so when I was at the smaller firm, I decided, well, I'm bringing in some good business. Well, why can't I become partner here? Well, at the time, the partner had a lot of debt on the books, and so I decided, yes, I don't want to take that on. I'm still growing in my career, and I want to be debt free at this point. So I decided, what's the next best thing? If I'm going out and making money for someone else, why can't I make that money for me? So I've been practicing for 17 years, Tony. I know I don't look that old. I know. But I've had my own firm for 11 years strong. I've loved every moment of it. It's not, you don't have a guaranteed paycheck, that's for sure, right? And entrepreneurship, as you very well know, it's not for everyone, and that's okay. It's absolutely okay. But when it comes to being an entrepreneur, we're actually cut out of a different cloth, right? We don't let anything hold us back. We don't listen to naysayers. If somebody says that's already been done, that's not going to stop me. How many hundreds and thousands of lawyers are there out there? That didn't stop me, right? So to me, I see it as a challenge. Okay, there's that many lawyers out there. Well, I'm going to be one of the best. That's what I'm going to be, right? So I opened my law firm 11 years ago, and I have and I knew exactly what type of law firm I wanted to run, and it was just concentrated on helping entrepreneurs, and that is it. That's all I have done my entire career, Tony.
That is absolutely amazing. And I've got to say, you're one of the few people I've ever interviewed that knew what he or she was going to do when they were 5 years old. Absolutely amazing. I didn't know my whole entire life what I was going to do. I just figured it out 5 years ago. I was born to do radio and podcasting. So hats off to you. I'm very late on the chain, but I want to make one distinction. In England, there's an attorney or a lawyer, and there's also a barrister. And there's different purposes, different functions. But you didn't want to be a barrister. You wanted to be an attorney.
Absolutely. So in England, we have barristers who are trial attorneys. They go to court. They wear the very, very expensive wig, right? That's actually made out of real horse hair, and it costs about £7,000 to £12,000. Exactly. And then they wear the black robes. And a really quick story, Tony. When I was in England, I was shadowing a barrister around, which is basically doing like a mini pupillage, a contract with them. And I wanted to see whether this line was for me or not. And one of the barristers, they showed up in court with just their cloak and not the wig. The judge sat there and refused to acknowledge the presence of this barrister. The tradition in England is so, so rich. They'll never, ever, ever divert from that. And so there are protocols that you have to follow. You can't just show up in court in a suit, right? You have to wear the black cloak, and you have to wear the wig too. And so the judge held everything up, and he said, we'll wait until this attorney shows up, the barrister shows up, in court, right?
It has nothing to do with law or correcting some wrong or a redress of something or an issue, or it has nothing to do with that. It's just total formality. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes.
Well, I'm glad you didn't want to be a barrister. But now I want to ask you, as part of that, it seemed intriguing. You weren't quite sure what it was at the time. Was there some purpose there? Was there some reason or motivation behind doing this? Like, why do you do it? Maybe it took some time to find out. Why do you do what you do? What's your reason or motivation behind this?
Because I saw my dad become an entrepreneur and a business owner, and the shift in the lifestyle, Tony, not being dependent on someone. Could you imagine that for a second? Just for a second. You wake up in the morning time and you set your own schedule, and you go out and find the clients that you want to work with, and not some people that you're forced to work with. And at the end of the day, you can actually have a life. You can walk your dogs during the day. We love dogs over here. You can close the doors to your office when your husband or wife comes home, right? You can spend time with the family. This is what life is supposed to be. It's not work 24 hours a day. Before you know it, life's going to pass you by, and then you're going to say, well, where did it go? What have I done with my life? And it's all about making memories. And so I will never ever forget, right, the day that a friend of mine, very, very dear friend of mine, was an attorney, and she went to work one day. She was giving them her entire life. She literally lived at the law office because she wanted to make partners. So you got to put in your time. And one day she got ready, she went to work. The next thing you know, at the end of the day, she was called into HR, and they said, sorry, Samantha, but we have to let you go. And her life just came down crushed. I can't even imagine. I cannot fathom that feeling that one gets in their gut when someone tells you, we don't need you anymore. And based on that, and based on the life that my dad provided us and himself, I just knew it, that I want to dedicate my life in service to helping entrepreneurs to live the life that they believe they were born to live, right? Everyone has a purpose. You found out what your purpose was 5 years ago. I found out what my purpose was when I was 5, right? And there's always a purpose, Tony, because the last thing anybody ever wants to say to themselves when it's all said and done and you're ready to leave, the earth, this life, you shouldn't have any regrets, not one at all. You really shouldn't. And I live by that every day too, Tony. So again, that's where the passion comes from. It is to make sure that I help because I'm in the position to help, right? I know the law. I know how to run a business or several. I know how to counsel other entrepreneurs. And again, I've written books just to help entrepreneurs. I have a podcast too, and you are a fantastic guest, by the way. And again, it's all to help entrepreneurs get a better understanding of their legal responsibilities, if you will. Oh, by the way, I'm trying to bring back the word legal, but I'm trying to make it sexy. So is it possible to put legal and sexy in the same sentence?
Well, if you wear a nice red dress, which is your logo, by the way, but I don't know about legal and sexy. That's very interesting. It sounds a little risque. I'm not sure what to do with that yet, but make it more interesting, make it more exciting. Yes, because you know what? It's something that you need. It's something that you need as part of your life, as part of your job, whether you work for a company or you're a small business owner or solopreneur, you're a startup, what have you. Legal is necessary. There are do's and don'ts that make it nicer and better when you rub elbows so that you don't say anything wrong. Just look at social media and look at some people, how they're blasted because they said a word or two which was the wrong thing and it caught a nerve, and next thing you know they're being vilified. I'm not going to name any names. You can see it in social media all the time. In fact, it's the headlights. So and so said such and such. How terrible. It's the headlines, so you don't even have to search more. So when that happens, you've got to scramble because your life, your brand, your business, whatever can be on the line. And at that time, you need legal. And if you haven't established a good relationship and a good workability with someone such as Kelly Bagla, who's really good at this stuff, then you're scrambling even more. And so it's something you need to know about. And hopefully, as we joked about, you really don't ever need from a bad sense, like, oh no, a horrible sense. But this world's got some interesting people. And these interesting people, I'm being very nice and political, when they see someone very popular, they think perhaps maybe there's money there or something. They're either hateful, jealous, or they want some money. And so this is what happens. So I understand that. So you need legal. We're going to figure out how to make it exciting, But what you have and the way you're doing it right now, I think you've already fit the bill on that. And by the way, for our audience, just to kind of further introduce Kelly Bagla, Bagla is Bagla, and you can find her at baglalaw.com, BAGLALAW.com. Did I get that right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Well, we're going to discuss this a little bit more and get into your vision path and kind of go over this. We've touched a couple of great points. I want to talk about these points and really dig deep into legal and its ramifications and make it more interesting. How about becoming your own boss? Now, I've been in positions where the business was sold and I was an employee and they don't need you. I've been in that position several times. You don't expect it. You don't know it. You come in on a Friday afternoon after lunch and there's some people there and they say goodbye. And it's like, what? It's actually happened to me where Friday afternoon, I mean, you don't even have time to look and what is it? Scramble. It's the weekend. Businesses are closed and they just let you go. But for me, it was a blessing because I scrambled so well. By the Monday, I was making more money as an entrepreneur than I was doing for the company. But that's a different story. But that's when you scramble. But it does something to your blood pressure, to your heart rate, to everything. It's like It's something you don't want. When you're an entrepreneur, and I've joked about this, you're not working the 40 hours anymore. You're working 80 hours, but you're having a lot more fun, and you control your own income. And as Kelly said, you can close the door to your office anytime. You can enjoy your family. It's a great lifestyle once you get into it. Yeah, there's some things to work out, and yes, you do need the legal. Let's talk a little bit more about this, Kelly, on becoming and being. You're your own boss. You've started it. I've commented. Let's kind of drill more into how this, what do we want to call it? This legal lifestyle, or this legal excitement, this legal
protection. It's so legal is very, very important. It's extremely important to anyone that is thinking of going into business or actually has a business, right? I have always said that as an entrepreneur, it's not, it's what you kill is what you get to eat. So as an entrepreneur, you're going to wear so many hats. And again, you don't have a guaranteed paycheck, but you'll never feel that, heart wrenching, your belly, the gut falling 1,000 feet. You're never going to feel that feeling ever again. Plus, you're going to be independent. You have full control over your life. If you want to make millions, that's within you. You can go out and make it. If you want to make a comfortable living where you can go travel with your family, you can spoil the family, that again is up to you. If you want to drive a Mercedes rather than a Honda, that's up to you. That's what comes with being an entrepreneur. So being your own boss, it's not about everyone's out to get me, right? That's not what legal is about. Legal is about giving you that support. How high you fly, right, in your business is based on how strong your foundation is. Now, I'm talking about legal foundation, Tony. The beauty about America, there's so much beautiful things here, but one of the most beautiful things about America is the land of opportunity. Absolutely land of opportunities. There's endless opportunities here, and that's for anyone, migrants, Americans that were born here, anyone. It's available and accessible to them. But one thing that they have to consider too is, if being in business, like you said, you automatically become a target, automatically. But as a business owner, you can't focus on that. And the one thing that allows you not to focus on that is to have your legal ducks in a row. So there's so many different ways a business owner can protect themselves legally. And the number one way is to actually incorporate your company, but incorporate it in the right way, right? The right entity. So this brings me to golegalyourself.com. That business, which I'm extremely proud of, I've actually gotten some awards for that, if I may mention it, Tony. It's because I'm making legal innovative and accessible, right, to everyone. Before, and even still now, legal is usually for the ones that think, okay, I've got a lot of money, right, now I can afford legal. It shouldn't be like that. It should be for everyone. Just like opportunities are for everyone, legal should be for everyone too. And there's so much misinformation out there. So about 3 years ago, I wrote my very first book. You were there, Tony. You were at the book signing. I was so proud of that. And it was based on the life cycle of a business, the legal life cycle. So obviously you have a startup. It's as if we have life cycles too, right? We're born, we grow up, we enjoy life, and then eventually, we move on to something else. And same thing with your business. It's going to go through the 4 phases. It's going to go through a startup phase. It's going to go through a growth phase. It's going to go through an establishment phase too. That's a really great phase. And eventually, you can sell your business for millions of dollars. And this is what I help people do. I help them set up from the beginning so they can sell their business for millions of dollars. And having the right legal structure in place is so important, because what about if what about if you're in a business where a investor sees what you're doing and they want to invest in your business, and they think, wow, this is fantastic, I can help them bring in some money, take you to the next level, but you're not ready, right? Because you have an LLC rather than a corporation, and you don't know any better because you don't know. So you've just missed that opportunity. So this is how important it is. You don't just look at, what am I selling today? You always look at, what are you going to sell 5 years from now? What are you going to do 10 years from now? What's the bigger goal here? And then you work your way backwards. That's how I help clients set up their businesses for success.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I want to comment on that. There's a couple of things that I'd like to say about that. And that is, if you out there in the audience, entrepreneur, business owner, if you're not incorporated, or if you don't have an LLC or a strong legal form, it can hurt you in the back end. I know some people operate with, what is it, the sole proprietorship, or just on your social or what have you, which is probably fine to start off, but you need that entity to protect you, protect your assets, protect what you own. And there's a point where, as you grow, you may or may not need it now, but as you grow, there's a point where you have to change. It's like going up the stairs of a building. You may not need it to start, because it's right now, it's just a vision. There's no company. And then it becomes you, maybe someone else or someone else's, some other people. And now it's a couple of people working, and you've got a product or a service, and you're making money. And it's still not really so much of a consideration then, but at some point you have to move into a more legal established entity to protect you, your partners, your friends, your affiliates, and so forth. And it's not like that it's sexy or not sexy. It is important. And I thought of it as we were talking about, and I talk about this on my show. What you have is a diamond. Whatever it is, your vision, whatever your product or service is. And a diamond, the way a diamond works is there's a little tiny flat surface on it, and it's called a facet. And when you polish that little tiny surface called a facet, you shine some light on it, bing, it glows. And when you shine the other little facets on your diamond, it glows more and more. And consider that akin to your business. The more pieces of the puzzle that you put in place, your business, your marketing, your promotion, et cetera, all your different functions of your org chart, your HR, your accounting, and so as you put in these pieces and polish them and get them going good, your business overall, i.e. your diamond, shines more and more. So this one particular facet, the legal facet, is vital, because if it's not shining, it's kind of begging for trouble. And you only have to, again, look in the news to see the trouble some people get. So we're not saying that that's going to happen, but when it's like having credit, that's a great thing. It's like having credit. The best credit in the world is to have bazillions in credit and never need it. That's always a good feeling, isn't it? So it's kind of like that. You have it, and it's there if you need it, but you don't necessarily have to use it. Now, that's sexy. I like it.
That is so sexy. And how did you know diamond is my favorite color?
You're the only person I've ever run into also that's actually referred to a diamond as a color as opposed to an object or thing. It's very valuable. In fact, it's more valuable than platinum, which just a little thing that I've learned. Platinum's more valuable than gold, and the diamond is at the top of the heap.
There you go.
One of the hardest, very, very beautiful, and I love it. And I have a diamond. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. It's hard to tell, but I've worn a diamond ring as my wedding ring for a very long time, and I forget about it. But yes, men can wear diamonds too.
Absolutely, yes.
Kelly, this is really fascinating for me, and I'm hoping to stir up some interest in people to get more involved in their legality structure, hierarchy, so that it's in place and it's strong and it takes care of them. Now, what you do is a little bit different, maybe. You simplify it. So let's talk about simplifying our legal.
Perfect. When was the last time you ever heard an attorney say that they're literally giving away templates for free? Probably never. I don't think you've ever heard those two words in the same sentence, attorney and free. Probably never.
Doesn't happen.
No. This is how I'm simplifying and making legal accessible, Tony, if I may. This This is my latest book.
And you can see, audience, I was talking about the red dress when she was talking about being sexy. I was saying, do this as a logo. And I was saying, oh, she's already got that. That's words.
There you go. It is Go Legal Yourself, the second edition, and my publisher is Wiley. Wiley is one of the largest business-related book publishing companies here in America. Fantastic to work with. This is what I would recommend for anyone. I don't care whether you're starting out, you're growing your business, or you're in the middle of your business. Please pick up a copy of this book. It's going to be the best $20 investment you have ever made in yourself. What's $20, right? You buy 2 cups of coffee and an hour later they're gone. They pass through you, right? So that $20 is gone. But this $20 is literally going to put you in control of your own life and your destiny and how to become a boss. So based on this book, so 3 years ago, I wrote the first edition, and then I'm thinking, okay, well, I've given them the information, but now I need to give them the tools to actually do this by themselves. And so I created golegalyourself.com. It is an online do-it-yourself legal protection business. And I have taken out all the guesswork for people. So you don't have to sit there and research, do I need to be an LLC or do I need to be in corporation? What are the contracts do I need? I filed my articles with the state. Am I protected now? No, you're not. So that's why I've given you everything. It's literally legal in a box for anyone that wants to start their business or grow their business. And I talk about business-friendly states. There are some out there, Tony. They still exist. California is not one of them, right? But that's why Californian businesses, they need attorneys, right? They need that. There's more attorneys in California than anywhere else. I wonder why. But there are business-friendly states, Tony, and people need to understand, can they incorporate there? Can they not incorporate? If they do incorporate there, do they still have to incorporate or file as a foreign corporation in their own state, right? So I answer all of these questions in the book. I provide the tools, and that's how I'm making legal accessible for everyone. It's an investment, but would you rather pay the investment, the small amount investment up front, or would you pay 10 or 15 times more than that trying to defend your company from a lawsuit? The choice is really clear.
And it's also a very nice tax write-off. Whatever you use for your business, because you're incorporated or you've got the right structure, it's a lot easier to show, improve, and have your CPA or your accountant, use that as a write-off. It's convenient, and it does pay for itself.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because a business, a startup, is allowed at least up to $5,000 to write off as tax, as business expenses for a startup. $5,000. I know, and that's the investment that you're making in yourself with Go Legal Yourself. It's unbelievable, right? That literally you're setting up your corporation and you're getting all the corporate documents that you need. And again, they are drafted by a practicing attorney, me, for 17 years. And so you're getting something that would have cost you $20,000 at a traditional law firm for the fraction of the price. Plus, you get it all written off. So literally, you're not paying anything to start your business. What a beautiful thing.
I love it. Now, this allows us to, because you talked about this at the very beginning, why you came to the U.S. or what made you fall in love with the U.S. was living the American dream. And, I don't hear that anymore. I have to really ponder and think, has anyone ever even said that in my interviews? Oh yeah, I think maybe once, but I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of people. They don't really talk about the American dream. But there used to be an American dream. Is it still alive, Kelly? Is it still something there? What is the American dream today? And how does this help us, let's just say, have a better life and a better business life?
Tony, the American dream is alive and well, and it's kicking strong. Every day I encounter entrepreneurs that want to start their own businesses, right? Anyone, like I said, can start their own business today in America. You can't do that in any other country. Trust me, right? I talk to other attorneys around the world. I have clients in different parts of the world. You can't just start your own business. In fact, sometimes it takes about 3 to 4 weeks just to open a bank account in different countries. So here in America, when you have a stay-at-home mom, right, that has to look after her children, or she's just had a brand new baby, but yet she still is very passionate about what she believes in. She can work from home. She can create her home-based business. You can't do that anywhere else. Someone else, if they get fired tomorrow, but yet they have the knowledge, they've got consulting knowledge for 5, 10, 15 years. They take that consulting knowledge, they put it into a consulting business, and they're off going. They can even make more money this way than paying the boss man, 60, 70% of it. So it's completely alive and well, Tony, and I absolutely love it. I hold it so dear to my heart because I see it every day with entrepreneurs starting their own businesses.
Yeah, I want to see the American dream refurbished, reinvigorated, reignited, alive, kicking and bright. I want, I used to say very limited time, special offer. I used to say, I look forward to going back to the old normal or whatever. And I've changed that because that's not going to happen. I want a better existence going. And this is part of it. If we all get our legal in place and get our structure in place and polish some of those more facets of the diamond, our business, our life will actually shine. It will actually do a lot better. Really get into this, go to baglalaw.com, find out more about what Kelly has. She does have some free items that she's giving away. We may talk more about that. But while we have a few minutes, I want to make sure that, well, first of all, I've seen you grow and progress over the years. I've seen more books and more facilities coming out to help entrepreneurs. And I'd like to know, any particular plans, anything exciting that you plan to bring out or unveil in the next couple of years?
That's a very interesting question. See, at the world of Bagla law firm, right? It's ever evolving, and I'm always adding sort of new specialized areas to the practice itself. So if we do have listeners that are based internationally for your show, Tony, and they want to come over to the US, they want a US presence, they want to sell their products or services over here, I offer that to them as well. So I do help foreign-based businesses create a presence in America. I can help them with anything from the research to setting them up legally to their employment requirements, legal requirements, right? And then there's always plans of writing more books because I just absolutely love sharing my knowledge with entrepreneurs, right? And then my podcast, I'm always looking for some fantastic guests on my podcast. It is called Go Legal Yourself. And by the way, if someone has a fantastic brand, they have a fantastic logo, I highly, highly recommend that you get that trademark ASAP, because you mentioned earlier, I am known as the Queen of Business Law. That's a registered trademark, Tony.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and so is Go Legal Yourself is a registered trademark. Again, anyone can start even a course online, right, through webinars. They can charge people for sharing their knowledge through webinars. So hint, hint, there will be some webinars coming up as well. And I love what I do. And so if you love what you do, I don't think you'll ever work a day in your life.
There you go. It's just fun.
It is.
Going from working from someone, working for someone, then becoming an entrepreneur, and then just having fun in your life.
There you go. We have fun every day over here.
Oh, that's good. Kelly, we learn from the people who are very successful in their field. We learn from so many things. One of the things that I like to learn from, my audience enjoys learning from, is particular routines or daily habits that you find successful. I mean, we've run into so many great points, and we're wondering what routines, what habits you feel help contribute to your vision success.
This is incredible. The questions you're asking me, Tony, I really feel like you've peeked into, behind the curtain of my life, right? And you already know the answers to this, because I've actually written a book called Go Own Yourself, and that's available on Amazon. And in that book, I talk about how have the successful become successful. So I interviewed my clients, my successful clients, and we found out that some of the traits of the very successful are the ones that actually run through all the successful people. So for example, I personally, and most successful people do, we wake up early because we want to own the day, right? We want to get in front of the day, not the other way around. We never want to play catch up, especially when you are an entrepreneur and you're running your own business. So I wake up really early. My husband wakes up at 3. I wake up at 3:30 because that's when the coffee's ready.
Well, if the coffee's ready, you got to wake up. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes, and so we have breakfast together. That time together is just priceless. We don't put on the news, we don't put on the telly. It's just really priceless, just connecting. Plus our dogs, right? We got 2 big girls, right? They're pit mixes, just loves of my life, and we have a little senior dachshund as well. The dachshund came with the husband, but she's basically my dog. They're all my dogs, right? And so we get up, we have breakfast, then we exercise. So I do cardio, and my husband takes the dogs for a walk. And then when I'm ready, I'll take them for a run around the block and come back, we'll work out, get ready. And I am in the office by 7:30, the latest every morning, sometimes 6:30, depending on the day. And I've already completed half of my day before people even get up. I get to see the sunrise. Oh my God, how beautiful is this world? If you just take a second to just look around, take the blinders off and take a second to look around, look at the beautiful flowers that are here during springtime. But I get to enjoy all of that, and then I'm in the office and I'm focused, and I'm taking calls from international clients, from domestic clients. That's what I pride myself on too, is being available to my clients and my friends, and definitely Tony. Yeah, and then yeah, exactly. And then you just be consistent with it, right? Consistency. Once you become consistent with it, it might be hard for some people to wake up early, but trust me, usually about 7:30, you're ready for bed, and then you start all over again. And it's just it's a fantastic lifestyle. But again, you're the one that's in charge of the day, not the other way around.
I absolutely love it. That's a great routine. That's a great lifestyle. And for you and your husband to actually be able to do that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And that's part of why you're successful. That is one of your mainstays for what you do. Very, very good on that. And I think we mentioned this earlier. You talked about your templates, free templates. So if you have any resources for our entrepreneurs, anything you'd like to offer, please let us know. And again, your website is baglalaw.com.
Absolutely. So part of the deal with my publisher, Wiley, the book that I know your listeners are definitely going to purchase from Amazon.com. It comes with a website provided by Wiley, and on that website there's a free business template that I charge $500 for. It's free. It's drafted by me. There are checklists of contracts, must-have contracts. There are state forms on there that you really need to understand. So there's about at least $1,000 worth of free, valuable information that comes along with the book. And then I always write a monthly blog. It's very, very short because people don't like to read nowadays. And I always talk about legal tidbits, right? So I give them, what's the difference between an LLC and a corporation? What contract do you need for this? Or what are the laws? How are the laws changing, especially since the new year started a couple of months ago? So please sign up for my newsletter. Again, it's baglalaw, as you said.com. Sign up for the free newsletter and reach out to me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. I always love talking to entrepreneurs. Thank you so much, Tony.
Speaking of dogs, there's Ronan the Akita.
Oh my goodness.
I don't see the camera what you all see, but there he is. He's got a time. I guess he has a clock. He knows we've been talking for 45 minutes. Okay, Tony's interview's done. He comes in. This guy, he knows the time. When it's 6 o'clock on the nose, he comes because it's time for food. He knows how these dogs know how to tell time, knows when my wife's coming home, etc. But that's a different topic. I don't want to go off too much, but I just want to say, hey, we talked about simplifying your legal with Kelly Bagla. She's the queen of business law and she knows her stuff. Please check it out. baglalaw.com. Get some of her freebies. Get her book. I like how she said it. A couple cups of coffee and they're gone, though coffee's delicious and you kind of remember it. Thing with the book is always there, and you need to shine and polish that facet for a successful business. You just need to. That's why I've brought her on the show to kind of help educate everyone. So please listen to this interview again, everyone, because we talked about some very good points, and I want you to kind of get this in your mind and then go act on it. Kelly, thank you so much for sharing with us today. I absolutely loved it. I just want to thank you for gracing our show with your presence.
Thank you so much, Tony. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, fellow entrepreneurs, thanks for hanging out with me while I featured an elite entrepreneur who took her vision to reality. I hope this was as inspiring for you as it was for me to do this interview. I learned so much about simplifying your legal with Kelly Bagla. I love the fact that she knew what she wanted to do when she was 5 years old. And I find it amusing. She didn't really know what it was, but she really wanted to be an attorney. And I do know her, and I got to tell you, she's really, really good at what she does. I absolutely love it. She came to the United States when she was young, and she just fell in love with the place, and she fell in love with the American dream. And she set about and did that and engaged in that and learned everything about legal and law and became her own super entrepreneur, elite entrepreneur. I love her purpose and what she wants to do. We talked about becoming your own boss and how when you do that, you need the legal structure in place, and having that legal structure in place allows you to then live the life you want as that entrepreneur. And there's so much freedom. We work more, but we have more fun. And even though we work more, I believe we enjoy our family and our life more. And yeah, there are entrepreneurs that don't work so much, don't work as many hours, and that's fine. As you move on and become more and more successful, you can cut back on your hours. You're your own boss, which is the coolest thing. You can never get laid off or fired again unless you fire yourself, but that'd be kind of weird. But we talked about that, and we talked about simplifying legal and how it's important. And, it may not be the sexy thing for you, but when you look at it from the point of view of having something in place that's there, like credit, but you don't use it, but it's there when you need it. And it's that assurance. It gives you that peace of mind. It polishes that facet of your diamond so that your business, what you're creating becomes even better, stronger, brighter. And yes, that helps you live the American dream. What's the American dream? I consider the American dream where you have a vision, you produce a product, a service, or you help others produce a product or service successfully that hopefully helps others. It doesn't harm them or hurt them, and brings income to you to feed your family so you can do what you want to do for a good lifestyle, play your golf, do your sports, and so on and so forth, and live a good life and be happy and not stressed out. And the old days aren't there anymore. They're not going to come back. The world prior to the events of 2020 aren't going to come back. I want all of us to get together and put forward our vision, what we want to see happen, and start creating that, because the world that you have tomorrow and the next day and the next day is the world that all of us together push forward and bring out. So we can do that. And I think for most people, being an entrepreneur, controlling your own services, your own products, or helping others do that as well, really makes a big difference in this whole picture. I believe that's the group and the audience that I'm speaking to. I know that some of you have a job or you're career-minded and so forth, which is totally fine. Well, this is also going to help you go up the ladder and give you more knowledge for your business. And it's like great information that you can use when you need. Look at it that way, because everything that you've ever learned, you don't necessarily use every single day. But when the time comes that you need some information, oh yes, I remember this. The Simplifying Your Legal with Kelly Bagla. Let's go listen to this again. Here's the information. Let's get that book, get that template, which you should do anyways. I think so. She's offering it free. It's thousands of dollars worth of great legal experiential advice and help. So check it out. Go to baglalaw.com and check it out. And you know what, guys? I'd love to know how you use this information in your business, your career, your life. Did this interview stimulate you or give you any ideas? Did it help you, like maybe give you some aha moments? Would you please share and grab hold of your vision? Decide you're going to either start something great or take it to the next level. You have to decide first. It always starts with a decision. And you can get my vision map to help you along the process. The ebook is at DUrso.com/books. I created my empire in a few years. That's what I call it. I have a fully sustained business, and it just took a couple years. And next year people may hear that and they may laugh, because maybe a fully sustained business can happen in hours, in minutes. 20 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, it took a much longer time. So I think for me, it was a good fast amount of time. But now what we know today with technology, we can create an amazing business in a snap. So yes. And if not, check out my shows. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that help you shine and polish that facet of your diamond so that you can glow and become better and bigger. I do this for you, and you can do it. And by the way, please consider supporting the show with a nice review, would you? Just go to DUrso.com/review. I would appreciate it so much. And again, if you know someone whom you believe would be helped by the show, would you please share? And if you're watching this on Rumble, kindly subscribe, like, hit that plus button, comment, and share. I thank you kindly in advance, because we're going to help you move on your journey to success. Thanks, everyone. And remember, just take action. Success awaits those who persevere and remain steadfast despite the odds. Sow good seeds, do good deeds, and join me on the next episode of The Tony DUrso Show.
We hope you've enjoyed this week's edition of The Tony DUrso Show with his key influencers. Be sure to tune in again next Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Influencers channel.